I've been with Ethan for 3 years. Just as our contract was nearing expiration. He lost his memory. Now he trails after me like sticky rice cake. Chirping wife nonstop. It wasn't until he drunkenly slipped up during intimacy that I discovered his amnesia was fake. After 3 days of nursing Ethan at the hospital without changing clothes, he finally awoke. Just as I thought peace was within reach. Under my delighted gaze, Ethan pointed past his teary-eyed first love lily straight at me, wife. His hoarse voice dripped with grievance, resembling an abandoned puppy. My momentary softness let him pull me into his embrace. His first love stomped away fuming. Me, aren't you chasing her? He buried his face in my neck. Scorching breath grazing my skin. Deflecting, wife. You smell divine. Honestly, Ethan and I've done far more intimate things. But never heard this bastard spout such cheesy lines. Terrified, I scrambled to fetch doctors. Post-examination came the absurd diagnosis: Ethan's memory only retained the past 2 years. 3 years ago he'd kept me as a substitute mistress. These last 2 years marked our diligent honeymoon phase. With 2 months left on our contract, this disaster struck. Absolute nightmare. After bringing Ethan home, he immediately went to the office. Classic profit-obsessed capitalist. Respect. The moment he left, I hit the club. These days of working like a dog for him exhausted me. Neon lights, pulsing beats, male models in deep V-shirts thrusting hips on stage. The seductive chaos overwhelmed me. I grandly announced, "Tonight's tabs on me." I got so carried away that when Ethan materialized, my face nearly met a model's six-pack. His icy voice pierced my back. Enjoying? Survival instincts kicked in. I spun into his arms. Darling hubby. You came. Ethan sneered, gripping me. Darling? Had I not shown up? Who'd you be, darling? Ing. Guilty panic. How'd you find me? Weren't you overtime at the office? You lied. Sophia. I monitor our joint account during work hours. His words obliterated my counterattack plan. Meekly, sorry, wrong card. You think that's why I'm angry? Sorry for buying rounds. He scoffed disdainfully. You think I care about money? Damn. What a baller line. Jealous. The next second, my waist was seized forcefully. Ethan spoke through gritted teeth. Does my wife find domestic flowers less fragrant than wild ones? Should we try it right here tonight? I forced a dry laugh while staring at his sharp eyebrows. Hard pass. My refusal failed. Not only did Ethan uncover my 8 VIP nightclub membership cards, but he also discovered photos of me dancing provocatively with male models. The shameless establishment had created a photo wall claiming it showcased their premium service. In the framed picture, I grinned while clutching a male model's toned waist. Outside the frame, I clasped my hands pleadingly. Let me explain. Damn. I accidentally blurted out my internal monologue. I hastily corrected. Wait. Let me clarify. Ethan dragged me into the car. Obsidian eyes locking onto me. Go ahead. Here? Now? My eyes widened as I gulped nervously at his handsome face. We're still in the parking lot. This seems inappropriate. What are you imagining? Ethan's face darkened though his ears flushed red. I meant explain yourself. TSK. I thought he meant doing something else in the car. Ethan glared, disappointed. He let out a cold laugh and slammed the accelerator. Wait. I'll deal with you properly at home. Undeniably, Ethan's capabilities were impressive. His anger only amplified this prowess. That face paired with sculpted muscles, every time he emerged from the shower with a towel around his waist. He resembled a seductive forest spirit while I became the weak-willed scholar. Attempting to negotiate. I pleaded, be reasonable. You have amnesia. This is complicated to explain. But I remember fragments. Ethan pulled me through the doorway. Long fingers gesturing at our living space, sofa, coffee table, even the dining surface. I recall you particularly enjoying these spots. I rolled my eyes, of all things to remember. You retain the R-rated highlights. Remembering the doctor's warning that his memories could resurface anytime. I hesitated, actually. The woman you upset at the hospital today is your first love. Her name's Lily. You two split 5 years ago. You've been heartbroken until meeting me. So you're my rebound? More like placeholder. Novel profession. Right? Examining my fresh manicure. Irritation surfaced. He initiated this arrangement, why play the chaste victim now? Crossing my arms. I stated, Mr. Harper. Ours is purely transactional. After a weighted pause, Ethan suddenly captured my lips. He only released me when oxygen deprivation threatened consciousness. His striking features illuminated by lamplight, I don't believe it. I'm certain it was love at first sight. Before I could process hearing such tenderness from him, knocking interrupted. Lily's tearful voice carried through the door, Ethan. Ethan instinctively looked to me, clutching my collar. I deadpanned, why stare? She's calling you. The rainy night set the stage, weeping first love. Nearly compromised boundaries. Amnesiac Ethan. All elements for a cliché reconciliation drama were present. As the designated villainess, I only needed to observe their romantic theatrics. Reaching for my pocket out of habit, damn. I'd hidden my cigarettes during hospital days. Ethan frowned, grabbing his phone. Amid Lily's dramatic sobbing, he calmly dialed, police? I'd like to report. I lunged to cover his mouth, disconnecting the call. Holy hell. If his precious Lily got arrested during his memory loss, I'd bear the brunt when he recovered. Not happening. With sudden sincerity, I urged, just open the door. It's pouring. Ethan scowled but complied. I watched as Lily, resembling a drenched moth, fluttered into his arms. Her white dress clung transparently, yet her makeup remained flawless. Shoved aside, Lily pointed accusingly, what witchcraft did you perform? Ethan could never forget me. I refused to believe this. Is this some kind of joke? Ethan was the one who crashed his own car and got brain damage. Why are you bothering me about it? Ethan frowned, his handsome features twisting in irritation. You're interrupting our anniversary night just to throw a tantrum? Get out. Lily looked like she'd been struck by lightning. I don't believe it. Ethan could never forget me. She struggled violently against the security guard's grip, her designer heels leaving muddy streaks across the marble floor. The puddle of tears beneath her ruined her perfect winged eyeliner. Seeing the mess she was making, I felt anger bubble up. I forgot most of the college English vocabulary I memorized last year. Why shouldn't he forget an ex from 5 years ago? You must have done something to him. Lily whirled on me, mascara miraculously intact. Gold-digging homewrecker. Don't think you'll ever be Mrs. Harper just because he lost his memory. As she kept ranting about me being unworthy, I rolled my eyes so hard it hurt. Ethan finally pushed her away and turned to me with raised eyebrows. You look like you have something to say. Actually, yes. I said brightly. Miss Lily, what brand is your mascara? The waterproofing is incredible. Ethan's lips twitched as Lily's face turned chartreuse. Just that? He asked. Well, I blurted without thinking. Maybe also ask why she thinks bursting into people's homes to sob is good manners? And even with amnesia, his first instinct was to call me honey. Clearly I'm exactly his type, the kind you fall for at first sight. First love, Ethan corrected quietly, his voice suddenly hoarse. When I glanced at him confused, he shook his head. Never mind. I turned back to Lily. We let you in out of courtesy. But I'm not paid enough to clean up your drama. Call an Uber. Ethan! Lily wailed desperately. We grew up together. You chased me to the airport begging me not to leave that day. Don't you remember? Beg you? Ethan looked like he'd smelled something rotten. I lost memories. not IQ points. Keep slandering me and you'll get a cease and desist. Truthfully, I didn't know much about Ethan's past. When we first started seeing each other, Lily had bombarded me with messages about their epic romance and how I was just a poor orphan unworthy of the Harper family. Our own story began outside my office building. As the new intern, I'd been sent to fetch 30 complicated coffee orders. That's when I literally crashed into Ethan, all hard muscles and expensive cologne under his rumpled suit. "Your fault," I'd yelped instinctively, terrified of being sued. To my shock, he paid for the spilled lattes and even tipped me. His social media full of coupon fines and happy hour deals made me think he was another broke office worker. We became discount hunting buddies, scouting secondhand deals and sharing free samples. When he first confessed feelings, I turned him down. I wanted to clear my father's debts first. Had it all planned out, 3 more months of payments. Then I'd ask him properly with the $280 watch I'd been saving for. Then Mom's cancer diagnosis came. The night I sat sobbing over hospital bills. Ethan found me. "Be with me," he'd said simply. I thought he meant dating. Turns out he meant marriage. Now, watching Lily's meltdown, I finally understood why he'd insisted on that courthouse wedding. My fingers absently traced the simple band on my left hand as Ethan's warm palm settled at my waist. "Security," he called, not taking his eyes off me. "Show Miss Lily out. And send someone to clean this floor." As Lily's shrieks faded, Ethan tilted my chin up. "First sight," he murmured, thumb brushing my cheek. "First love. First everything that matters." This time, I didn't pull away. I waited a long time to make sure he'd finished speaking. He'd asked, "Will you be with me?" Not "will you be in a relationship with me?" 3 words short. Plus that check he handed me. I kept counting the zeros over and over until stupid words tumbled out. "Aren't you just a clerk?" He lowered his gaze. "Cloudrise International is my company. Turned out to be our firm's biggest client." I clenched the check and secretly pinched the watch, feeling like an idiot. I agreed. And just like that, 3 years passed. During that time, my mother died. The king of cancers, at least she left with dignity, spared from suffering. The day they called me to the hospital, Ethan went with me. I've forgotten the details now. Only remember crying so hard I soaked Ethan's shirt. I told him how Mom had slaved to raise me. Shared all my bright future plans. Everything except my intention to confess to him. They say a loved one's passing is like endless dampness. Even now I recall Ethan's damp collar. His arms gently holding me as I buried myself in his chest. Ethan handled all the arrangements afterward: death certificate, cremation, funeral, headstone. With each step, I felt Mom being peeled away from my life. My world became perpetual rainy season. I'd snap at Ethan suddenly, stare at the kitchen crying, wake at midnight wanting to take Mom for night snacks. Every time, Ethan stayed. Then one day I emerged from the gloom. Looking at his hand gripping mine, "I want to visit Mom." The headstone stood in beautiful scenery. Ethan had clearly spared no expense. While he stepped away, I found the cemetery manager and got quoted a sky-high price, $2 million upfront, $50,000 annual maintenance. On the drive back, Ethan kept glancing at me, lips pressed tight. His palm grew sweaty against mine until the driver asked, "Where to?" Only when I said back to Seacliff Villa did he relax, eyes lighting up. Our shared home. My reasoning was simple until I repaid $2 million. I'd forever owe Ethan. Our contract wasn't up yet. Just when I'd nearly paid off the debt. Secretly packing my things, news came of Ethan's car accident and amnesia. These days I haunt the hospital, pestering doctors. When will his memory return? How? Finally, one exasperated physician snapped, "Try revisiting your life together. Strong emotional triggers might work." Pushed out of the hospital, I pondered the advice. Amnesiac Ethan proved needier than ever, clinging like a puppy, mastering the art of coy looks. Multiple times I found myself in bed with him before regaining senses, body aching like roadkill. His hungry gaze made me feel like prey. Yet he'd nuzzle my neck, all tender affection. Last week he kissed my nape at work, destroying my single woman image. Now everyone knows I've got a possessive boyfriend. The man's truly a hound. Today I brought Ethan to our alma mater. Only later did I learn we'd attended the same university. Back then, drowning in scholarships and part-time jobs, I'd missed all the gossip about Ethan being the department heartthrob, or his golden couple status with Lily. Standing at the campus gates, I meant to call Lily and bow out gracefully. But before dialing, Ethan suddenly squeezed my hand. I think I'm remembering something. Wait. Was that really effective? I was still dazed when Ethan grabbed my hand and pulled me forward. The moment his palm closed tightly around mine, I instinctively looked up and met his smiling eyes. Morning sunlight filtered through tree leaves, casting dappled shadows. For one eternal moment, I felt like we were eloping. The illusion shattered when a security guard at the gate brandished his riot shield. Every inch the uncompromising enforcer. Hey. No entry without appointment. My breath caught. Even years after graduation, campus security still intimidated me. But Ethan reacted faster. Dragging me around the corner, he whispered, "We'll climb the wall here." Climb the wall? I thought I was the only one who did that. During college, I'd often work late night shifts for higher pay. Sneaking back after curfew, my roommate would distract the dorm supervisor while I slipped in. That kind-hearted lady never caught on. I became expert at scaling these bricks twice monthly, earning extra $500 each time. Yet Ethan moved with practiced ease. Unbuttoning his tailored suit jacket, he rolled up sleeves to reveal muscular forearms. Pale skin accentuated blue veins as he... Wait. Was he actually using his $1 million handmade leather shoes to scale the wall? Come on. I'll pull you up. His sun-bright grin made me reach out despite myself. Perched precariously on the ledge, we barely caught our breath before hearing thunderous shouting, "You too. What do you think you're doing?" Ethan squeezed my hand. "Run." He leapt off the 3-meter wall, landing smoothly before looking up with open arms. "Sophia. Jump. I'll catch you." The ground seemed farther than I remembered. If you drop me and we both get amnesia, we'd become the laughingstock of the century. I warned. His eyes sparkled with mischief. "Jump now or I'll post our mugshots on social media the second security catches us." That menace. I closed my eyes and fell. Wind rushed past as I braced for impact, only to land safely against Ethan's chest. Sunlight warmed my back. Grass scent filled my lungs, and our heartbeats pounded in sync, his racing pulse mirroring mine. I didn't mention it. My own heart was drumming just as wildly. Ethan dragged me to the wishing wall, scanning countless sticky notes with intense focus. This campus tradition started after my time, graduates leaving heartfelt messages on red bricks. What could he be searching for? My phone buzzed. Lily's text glared, "You took Ethan to our college? We fell in love there first. Don't think you can steal my place." I deleted the deranged message. Oddly, though I'd planned to return Ethan to her, being here felt different. If I hadn't been buried in studies and part-time jobs during college, maybe I'd have noticed Ethan sooner. Might have even slapped him when he first asked, "Want to be mine?" Ethan suddenly plucked a note from the wall, tucking it away like a dog hiding treasure. Too late, I'd already seen. When our eyes met, he blushed, carefully smoothing the paper before presenting it. "Look. Sophia. You wrote this." Nonsense. Between classes and work, I'd never had time for. Wait. Was this Lily's love note? Not interested, I said stiffly. The last thing I needed was their sweet proof plastered in my face. But I replied underneath. He insisted, holding it up. Since when did sticky notes have comment sections? Reluctantly. I glanced, just as the campus so-called golden girl appeared. Sometimes I really wonder if Lily has a magnet in her chest that pairs with Ethan's. How else could a woman in her 20s always manage to collapse into his arms at the first opportunity? Weeping like a storm-ravaged pear blossom? Ethan barely dodged her lunge, awkwardly twisting sideways to grip Lily's shoulder with one hand. Careful with the wall post-its, he warned. Lily's tears intensified. I rushed here immediately when I heard you were on campus. Are you okay? Did you remember something? She pointed dramatically at the concrete wall. This spot. We used to study here together. You'd sit on that bench with your books. And I'd just watch you. Really? I frowned. Lily sneered. These are private memories between Ethan and me. Know your place and leave. Ignoring her dramatics, I turned to Ethan. There's no shade here. Doesn't sunlight bother your eyes when reading? His eyes lit up. Honey, are you worried about me? I bit back my real thought about his pretentious reading habits, forcing a laugh. Never mind. I'll leave you two to reminisce. Lily's appearance shattered my earlier fantasy. What nonsense was I thinking about meeting Ethan in college? My actual university years were defined by poverty, solitary library shifts, and sweat-stained part-time uniforms. People like Ethan and Lily existed in a different stratosphere. Ethan grabbed my wrist. Don't go! His grip felt desperate, almost convincing. The ignored Lily turned puce. She's using your amnesia to scam you. Ethan! This gold digger would have been gone if you hadn't crashed your car. Her finger jabbed toward me. I flew back from Paris the moment I heard about your accident. Doesn't that prove my love? I edged backward, her words hitting painfully true. Our relationship did hinge on that absurd contract. Had his BMW not wrapped around a tree, I'd already be gone. I'd noticed his distracted behavior weeks before the crash, the way he'd hastily pocket his phone when I entered rooms. The increasingly hollow excuses. Our expiration date had been looming anyway. As Lily's tirade continued, Ethan silently steered me away, his hand warm around mine. Through the car window, I watched Lily stumble after us, designer heels catching on pavement. Should we stop? I suggested weakly. She's your first love. Ethan responded by flooring the accelerator, pressing me into the leather seat. Message received. His post-amnesia anger manifested differently. No more late-night work emergencies. Just sulky shadowing until addressed. The weight of his pout eventually broke me. Hungry? Want noodles? He gave a regal nod. As I reached for the apron, his arms encircled my waist from behind. His gym-toned chest pressed against my back while he tied the strings. Every defined muscle through his Oxford shirt mockingly perfect. The faint mint scent of his collar couldn't mask the heat radiating from his persistent, infuriatingly sculpted body. How should I put this? Self-disciplined men have the best luck. Every time I got carried away before, I secretly felt like I was getting the better deal. This time was no exception. He buried his face against my neck, his scorching breath making my collarbone damp, squirming from both itchiness and embarrassment. I pushed him away. Wait, the water's still boiling. Ethan captured my lips instead. As our tongues tangled, I glimpsed him reaching back to turn off the gas stove with practiced ease. His voice rasped, "So you really did call Lily over? Still holding a grudge?" I hastily raised my hands in surrender. No. I considered it initially, but later, the rest got swallowed by his mouth. He bit my lips several times with clear irritation. Seriously? Was Ethan born in the year of the dog? I swear I wasn't trying to show off. I genuinely didn't notice Ethan had left suggestive red marks on my nape again through his nibbling. Nor did I expect Lily's eagle eyes to spot them the moment I sat down. Her tone had been hostile when arranging this meeting, But now she exploded like a whistling kettle. Sophia, have you no shame? Must you flaunt this in my face? My mother tongue was speechlessness. It's not like I had exhibitionist tendencies. Taking a deep breath, I maintain civility. You're the one who demanded this meeting. I'd originally ignored her, but Lily claimed she'd leave the country after this conversation. The morning sunlight had been golden when Ethan kissed my cheek so tenderly, making me wish, just for a moment, that things could stay like this if he never regained his memories. Admittedly, that thought bordered on wicked. But daydreaming isn't a crime. I've always been practical. What ifs and maybes never interested me before. I know you're after money. I've seen plenty of gold diggers like you. Lily cut to the chase. You must know I dated Ethan throughout college. He only turned to you after I broke his heart. She paused, studying my reaction. Now that I'm back. Sophia, you should bow out gracefully. She flung a stack of papers on the table, the original sugar baby contract. Black and white. It states your relationship is purely transactional. Do you think he'll still cling to you if I show him this? Her laugh turned icy. I've checked your background. Of course you'd latch onto a catch like Ethan. But did you know he booked rooftop fireworks for June 23rd? The day after your contract ends. I froze. This was news to me. Lily smirked triumphantly. That's my birthday. He planned to confess during the fireworks. I don't know what expression I wore then, but it must have mirrored that long-ago moment when Ethan casually asked, "Want to be mine?" Same blank stupidity. Lily's mouth kept moving, but her words dissolved into static. My gaze stuck on the contract. Mind reeling. Odd. I'd originally intended to walk away clean when the time came. I've always believed in leaving before being left. My silence emboldened her. Leave Ethan now. And I won't show him this. You don't want him remembering you as some money-hungry. I nodded. Packing later. I realized how many traces I'd left, stuffed animals Ethan won at arcades. Lego sets we assembled together. The espresso machine bought during my short-lived latte art phase, though I ultimately preferred $1.40 Luckin coffee, however my rational mind protested. 3 years and 1,000 nights don't lie. Overwhelmed. I only grabbed some clothes and wheeled my tiny suitcase out. The company dorm application was pending, so I checked into a hotel. Ethan found me faster than expected. By lunchtime, messages flooded in. Where are you? Sweetheart? Let's have lunch together. When I didn't respond, he spammed a dozen emojis, puppies spinning, waiting, pouting, ending with a sobbing dog. Then came endless calls. I ignored them all. By 2 p.m., Ethan stopped calling. He started texting and sending voice messages. Where are you? Honey? Please answer your phone. Sweetheart. His last message read, "Can you open the door? I'm begging you." After prolonged hesitation, I finally unlocked the door. Ethan still wore the tailored suit I'd picked for him that morning, though his tie hung loose and fresh scrapes marred his knuckles. He looked utterly disheveled. Confusion swirled through me. Why was he here? My lips pressed tight. Didn't you read my note? I'd explained everything about our arrangement in that letter. His silent bowing head prompted my sigh. Ethan, this has always been an improper arrangement. Our contract expires tomorrow. Let's part ways cleanly. I refuse. When he lifted his gaze, raw anguish stained his bloodshot eyes. I faked amnesia because I knew you'd leave without hesitation. Do you really feel nothing for me? Has my body become so repulsive to you? The absurdity of his last statement struck me like triple lightning. You faked memory loss? My voice trembled with disbelief. Explain this madness. Tears splashed onto Ethan's clenched fists. You never cared. This was the only way to keep you close. He produced a crumpled sticky note. Its faded ink declaring I hope to earn lots of money, a mundane phrase utterly unlike Lily's typical grand proclamations. Recognition jolted through me. This was my own handwriting from senior year, scrawled during a tedious wait for a food delivery client who never showed. I'd absent-mindedly drafted the note before tossing it into a campus trash bin after receiving another delivery alert. Yet here it stood displayed on the infamous confession wall, preserved like sacred scripture in Ethan's trembling hands. Ethan's confession unfolded like unraveling scrolls, how he'd secretly patrolled that wall nightly after noticing my monthly late shifts. How he'd bribed dorm supervisors with fabricated hospital stories to protect my curfew record. How he'd orchestrated our first chance meeting through endless business collaborations after graduation. What about everyone saying you wept seeing Lily off at the airport? I challenged. Those were tears of panic when I saw your bridal photo shoot ad. His choked laugh cracked. I thought you'd married someone impulsively for extra cash. Memory flooded back, the temporary modeling gig I'd promoted on my work-focused social media. Never imagining Ethan monitored my every post. His decade-long blueprint of coincidences left me reeling. Then why propose that damned contract? My voice shook. Why ask if I'd take the deal like some transaction? Ethan's palm cradled my cheek, callous thumb erasing stray tears I hadn't realized I'd shed. Because any connection to you, even contractual, beat eternal distance. His shattered smile mirrored my fractured breathing. I'd sign 1,000 papers just to remain in your orbit. Ethan lowered his eyes. The day you rejected my confession, I overheard you talking with a colleague in the break room. You said you weren't considering dating anyone and had no interest in building a family with someone. If you absolutely had to maintain a relationship with a man, you'd prefer being a sugar baby or having a sugar daddy. So I drafted a contract that very night. I froze, vaguely recalling the incident. That colleague had always been nosy about others' love lives while playing matchmaker. She'd previously tried setting me up with her cousin's son 8 years older than me. Completely bald. Yet she insisted we were perfect for each other. My words had purely been meant to shut her up. I never imagined some fool would take them seriously and actually act on them. Taking a deep breath, I laughed bitterly from frustration. Ethan, are you insane? Do you realize what you're suggesting by saying you'll? My words trailed off as I suddenly recognized my own hypocrisy. I'd never truly loved anyone. My emotionally barren life had never granted me the courage for bold romantic gestures. Over the years, I'd obsessively fixated on Ethan's original question of will you stay with me? Like a splinter in my heart. Yet looking back, he'd used this arrangement as camouflage to wholeheartedly care for me, providing both financial security and genuine affection. Ethan suddenly reached out to wipe my tears. His voice muffled. I never meant to trap you. If you're still uncertain, could you at least consider keeping me around? I pressed my lips together. Continue this arrangement? No. This time, how about you become my keeper? His pitiful expression intensified. I'm cheap. No money needed. Just let me stay by your side. Watching his crestfallen face as I shook my head, I finally burst out laughing. Let's stop these toxic games. Ethan, wouldn't being my boyfriend be infinitely better? His enthusiastic kiss answered that question thoroughly. The day after our arrangement expired, Ethan took me back to that restaurant. Amid flowers and fireworks, the man knelt on one knee, looking down at his offered hand. I murmured, "We're both such fools." Ethan, what should have been a simple love story had become needlessly complicated. Thankfully, after all the chaos, love ultimately bound us together. Epilogue. Ethan's diary. June 18th, sunny. Remembered the day I first met Sophia. Currently planning the proposal. Hope she likes the baby names I chose years ago, they might be slightly cringy though. June 19th, found Sophia packing. Circled date on calendar marks our contract expiration. Stupid contract. Why did I set 3 years? Should have made it 30. What if she leaves? Need solutions. Asked Cora. Many suggested faking amnesia. Viable plan. Stage car accident. My buddy Liam owes me big time from when he chased his wife. Perfect time to collect that debt. June 20th, Sophia bought the Amnesia Act. Finally called her wife openly. Amazing! Except that Lily crashed my hospital room wailing like I died. She actually has mental issues. Ruined my romantic moment with Sophia. Wanted to curse her out but remembered my Amnesia Act. Took all my willpower. Why does Sophia keep calling her my first love? Googled first love, terrible romance novels popped up. What idiot would do the whole replacement lover trope? Wait. I used the sugar daddy premise too. Oh god, I'm the cliché toxic CEO. Must abandon amnesia plot. If Sophia rejects me, I'll persist, but never let her think I was with Lily. Swear I've always been faithful. Thank you all for the company. Your support fuels my passion for sharing these sweet romance stories. See you next time.